Welcome to Black Wall Street. Author, political, and social activist James Baldwin once said, "To accept one's past, one's history, is not the same thing as drowning in it. It cracks and crumbles under the pressures of life like clay in a season of drought." This is Jackson Ward as it stands today. Much of this prosperous and industrious Negro neighborhood is either flattened to the ground or redeveloped to be used as a parking lot. In the early part of the 20th century, in the 1920s to be exact, money and music flowed through these streets like a river. It was the Harlem of the South, a stop on the popular Chitlin circuit, a circuit of Southern black theaters that Negro entertainers would stop to play, dance, and sing. But what many do not know is that Jackson Ward was also known as the Black Wall Street.
Wall Street! Black Wall Street! Black Wall Street! Black Wall Street! The money and the music and the people! Oh, man! I'm walking through the streets and talking. Lord, have mercy on my soul. The truth ain't never really been told. Let me tell you how it used to be. Let me tell you about my story. Yeah! Black Wall Street! Yeah!
We got Black Wall Street in the house, guys. And I'm so glad, guys, to bring on this beautiful lady, director, writer, creator. Do I need to keep going down the list? Rebekah Pierce. Welcome to Real Talk.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's go around the room and let you introduce everybody.
Okay, well, right here is Mr. Roy Boyd. He's one of our co-producers on Black Wall Street. And this is Derek Wright of Full Motion Media. He's also our co-producer and cinematographer.
He got 20 million hats.
Well, so does he.
Yeah.
He's also the narrator
Yeah.
and assistant director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that is really nice. So, can you tell Real Talk viewers a little bit about yourself, Rebekah?
Well, I think you said it. I'm a writer and also a teacher, English teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been writing and producing plays for about 10, 15 years now.
Wow.
So this project came from one of my novels, my first historic fiction novel, Murder on 2nd Street, The Jackson Ward Murders.
Mm-hmm.
And so Roy and Derek have been like my longtime road dogs, so to speak. I've done 3 films with Derek and 2 films, 1 film with Roy.
One film.
So yeah,
Okay.
so we've been doing this for a minute.
That's really nice. So why did you choose to move from Richmond? Because I went to the Black Wall Street premiere at Unity Church. So what made you move to Richmond?
I was in the military. I was stationed at Langley Air Force Base in Hampton. And like a lot of people, met a man, got married, came here, same old, same old.
Yeah.
So I ended up here because I got married and ended up going to grad school here. I've graduated from BC with my master's. So I've been here since '99.
Wow, that's cool. So what makes you become a writer, then choose to do the directing behind the scenes?
Well, I feel like, in my opinion, you're kind of born a writer. I've always written. I don't remember not ever having a pen in my hand.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always an opportunity to express my feelings and what was going on in my life. I always say writing kind of saved my life as a young teen growing up in Stockton, California, in a very troubled time. I grew up in the 80s when it was Bloods and Crips and whatnot. So I used writing as kind of like my outlet. So I've always been a writer. I've always known that I was going to be a writer. I just didn't know what. But as far as getting to directing, I actually do not like to direct too much. But
we're going to get into the class. So.
Yeah, I don't, especially when it's my work, because sometimes people get caught up in, oh, the writer's here.
Right.
Am I doing it like you want me to? And it'll never be 100% what I see in my head. So sometimes that can get a little bit difficult. But I usually would have Roy direct for me, but because I tasked him with also being the narrator in this film, I was like, you cannot have 4 jobs. Yeah. So I took on the directing for this one.
I'm gonna bring in Roy on this one now.
Yeah.
Look at this sharp dressed man. Look. Well, stand up for a little bit for real talk, man. Look. Let the people see.
Are you serious?
Yes, you dress sharp, man. You got to represent. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you, Ricky from Real Talk. I told you when I met you at the screening that I saw you. You was here actually doing like film about the back in the days, about the 1920s.
Sepia Cinema, yeah, which we will be back in May, by the way.
Man, so tell me how you got connected with Rebekah with this project.
With this project, Rebekah and I hooked up somehow in July of this year, and you know, I have my partner, Imaja Jubilee. She asked me, would you and Imaja consider helping me with this new project? You know, so we had lunch. We had lunch over in Bellevue, over at Dots Back In, and she laid it out. She talked about it. I read the novel again, and she read it, and we were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. You know, and then all of these great things happened. For instance, after reading the novel, we got inspired by the piece, and we had the inspiration to write the theme song.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and we did that, and I tell you, it was just an incredible ride all the way through.
Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, because I noticed that you also was a professor. You've been in the theater all years and directed even projects so young.
Yeah, God, I teach everywhere.
Yeah, VCU, I saw it,
Yeah, I am a teacher. I love what I do. Virginia State Union. And you know, we have a lot of things going on. We're working on a blues show right now that's in pre-production. So yeah, you know, and Imaja, you know, viewers might know Imaja with Fit, Fun, and Fabulosity, which will be back in May, followed by myself with Sepia Cinema. Race movies, that's my specialty. So yeah.
So the natural cosmetic opportunity. We both were working on Black history pieces.
So let's bring Derek in this conversation, man. The man behind the scenes. Let's say, look, the first thing Derek said, look, I'm on ahead and say a little bit, then I gotta say what. So you gotta talk a little bit right now.
Yes, talk, Derek.
All right, here we go. Well, full time I do video production.
Okay.
I love doing film. And on this project, Rebekah, you know, wanted me to put the team together again, and so that's what happened. And I was all for it. I just love doing film.
Yeah.
And when I heard the theme song that night, I was like, man, we gotta do this.
It's almost like that it just like seemed like God sent you. It just like that. It just was in the right place, right time.
Everything fell into place. All the things we needed or we thought we weren't gonna get, we were able to get. So it actually, when the timing is right, I think I talked about that at the screening.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to do this project like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And the timing wasn't right, and now it is, and so everything we needed came together for this project. Everybody was available, so that's even more exciting. So everybody was available and willing to do it. So,
Wow.
And we got a dynamic cast you guys are about to meet.
Yeah, you're gonna meet these guys. Yeah, you're gonna meet a little bit, and then we're gonna stay a little bit after, and almost have like a Q&A with the the cast, and then ask questions like directors. So, but if you got any questions you want to ask Black Wall Street, please call in 915-5202. Please call in, and like I said, you know, we're taking all kinds of questions now. Now, we know it's gonna be some controversy. The first thing somebody asked me, they wanted me to ask was, why is we doing this story on Black Wall Street? Why it's got to be the white Wall Street, you know, with the corruption?
This is the story of Jackson Ward in 1929. And in that period, Jackson Ward was referred to as the Black Wall Street because of its entrepreneurial prowess and its economic market. It had its own little market, and it created products for, by, and about the people. So when W.B. Du Bois and all of our other Negro leaders at that time were looking for representation of neighborhoods, communities that were thriving economically. They came to the ward. So you're talking about the era of Maggie L. Walker, you're talking about the era of Bojangles, we're talking about the Chitlin Circuit.
Yeah.
So nobody's telling the story of Jackson Ward. Jackson Ward, just like Tulsa and just like Jacksonville, Florida, they are the examples of what Black America at that time was trying to do for themselves, which was be self-sufficient. Kind of the message you would hear again in the 1960s with Malcolm X and other Black and or Negro leaders at that time. And you still hear that call going on today for African Americans to be self-sufficient. So no one was telling this story. Jackson Ward is going through gentrification right now. We see condos and parking lots coming up where there were once historic homes, very old homes, and well-run businesses. And so I felt like it is important that we tell the story. Progress is wonderful, but you cannot forget history. And to me, the history is being covered up.
You know what? I love that what you said is me to just give you the glimpse of the information is now for you to follow through.
Exactly. It's our job. Our job was just present in 60 minutes a little bit of history about the ward and what life might have been like in 1929 for the people of the community. And so with that, I hope that it inspires, we hope that it inspires our viewers to go find out more about Jackson Ward and more about the African American economic growth in the early 20th century, maybe to kind of see, what life was like and where can we pick up from that. So it's important for me as an educator to give you the information, but it's your job to run with it once I've given it to you.
I like that.
Thank you.
Very much. And tell us a little bit about the characters we can ready to meet some.
Well, we're getting ready to meet for the fiction side, because the film is a combination of documentary with Mr. Boyd here doing the narrative parts, giving you the history of different buildings and places in Jackson Ward. And then we have the fiction part, which is showing a storyline that comes from the novel, and that's a murder mystery. One of the big things we see in the newspaper for the Daily Planet, which was the Planet for Jackson Ward at that time. There were others, but the Daily Planet was the big one. We saw a lot of headlines about murder and gambling and different things like that. And so I kind of wanted to tell this story. So you're going to meet Cy Sanford, who is our quasi-detective. He's a World War I veteran. That was another thing I felt was important to highlight, was that Black men or men of color served in World War I. And he was a member of the Harlem Hellfighters. So you're going to meet him tonight. You're going to meet a couple of the businessmen and women that we created who very well could have existed at that time, but the businesses that they owned were in fact legitimate businesses, such as an insurance agency, a barber shop, hair salon, things like that. So we're going to meet Diana Carver, who plays Mrs. Jones. Fareed Shalom plays Cy Sanford. We also have Mr. Ken Peebles, who plays Jack Johnson, who owns an insurance company. And then we have some of our background men who are men in the community who are kind of nervous about what's going on with there being a serial killer in Jackson Ward. So you're gonna meet a couple of those. We're gonna meet Deputy Brody, who's our white deputy who's really wants to help Cy figure out what's going on and kind of help keep the community together. So you're gonna meet a couple people.
Yeah, they've got a well-round, and when I seen that Hippodrome scene, and tell people, we shot that here in Richmond.
Yes, we did. We shot that. Actually, Mr. Eggleston let us use the banquet hall over by the Croker Spot. So we shot primarily in the ward and or in Manchester, and we also got to shoot in the John Mitchell house.
That's really cool, because you see a lot of big-time movies, or even, they just do replicas. They don't even actually film at the actual location.
That's why we also wanted to do this film, is because we wanted to show what is still here. For now.
For now.
Yes.
So let me let's go to the music now.
That's Roy.
Man, you did a dynamic job, man. I can't get that song Blackwell Street.
I know, out of your head, right?
How do you compose and you know, it just made me feel like I was back in those days. That's why I put that Duke Ellington, Cap Calloway. No, but I'm saying him like Duke Ellington, like the director. It was almost like the orchestra, the music, and then that's when I put Cap Calloway in there, just the feel of that vibe of the 20s and 30s. It just made me want to just. How do you get that inspiration, just recreate that to this present time?
Well, as I said before, we read the novel, Murder on 2nd Street. And Images woke up one morning just singing this verse. And then she just sang it all day long, just sang. So then I went to the keyboard and I knew the melody because I've been hearing it.
Yeah.
And then I picked out the notes of what she was doing and then evolved from that hook,
Okay.
presented it to her, and then she and I together, we went from there and completed it. You know, every song, every piece is different, you know, but that was the case how it was with this one, you know.
Right, and we do have to say the soundtrack itself is put together by Keith Wallace.
Keith Wallace.
Of Quintessential Jazz, yeah. So Black Wall Street, our theme song, and Keith Wallace's the music he gave us. I mean, it's when I came to them about doing a movie, soundtrack was never in my mind.
Yeah.
I didn't even think
It's
that
something
far.
about original music.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
because we were like, what kind of music are we going to put to this?
Yeah.
And then Roy's like, I have a song. I'm like, you have a song?
Yeah. That's what I said, like Duke Ellington, like he was running the orchestra and then just
Right.
cut it together, and that music, the jazz and the spirituality.
Right.
I loved it. It was
Well, thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you
beautiful.
very much.
That's a beautiful combination. And the voices.
Right.
Man.
Oh, yes, Diana, who's here
Yeah.
tonight, she's one of the singers on the track.
She was
yeah.
great. She
Yeah,
was
she's
really
awesome.
great. So let me ask you something. Is the actors, are they all here locally?
Some of them are also from Petersburg. So we tried to get local actors when we did our call for actors. We were really blessed that the actors we did get were, first of all, available, because some of them are really very much entrenched in theater, local theater here in Richmond, and or film as well. So to get actors like Mike Shiflett and Tony Q. Cobb, it was a blessing.
It's a blessing.
As a matter of fact, Mike Shiflett just got cast to play Moses. So
Oh, wow.
in a major film. So that's a pretty big thing for us. So we were really blessed to get these actors coming out of Petersburg, coming out of Richmond, here in Richmond, and coming out of Chesterfield. So we were really excited about the cast we got.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So tell us, is there more to the story?
There is. You have to
Yeah.
read the novel. You
Yeah.
have to read Murder on 2nd
Yeah.
Street, the Jackson Ward Murders, to get a good feel for what, number one, what the community was truly like, and what kind of character Cy Sanford is, and how these men and black men and businesswomen, you know, how they work together to try to keep their community intact, and why it was so important. I mean, I worked really hard to try to really put the reader literally in Jackson Ward in 1929,
Yeah.
and I put it in October of 1929 because that's, you know, if you know your history, if you've been paying attention to history class, that's the fall of the stock market,
Yeah.
October 29th, 1929. So the novel is set within those 30 days. So I wanted to, again, attach history to art, so that I can hopefully inspire young artists to look out the back window into their backyard and see the gold mine that is back there. There are so many great stories here in Richmond that have been forgotten or are not given the light that they need to be given. And there are countless other stories that I could have told, and there's a lot of information I could have put in the work, but you only have but so much space to tell a story. But I really hope that people, number one, enjoy the piece, go find out more about Jackson Ward, and pick up the novel, and then go create their own art on Black history or American history, because it's American history too.
Right. So let me ask you something. Is there more books you're going to write to give us a little history lesson?
Oh yes, the second book, historic fiction novel that I actually do have a screenplay for, is The Secret Life of Lucy Bossman.
Yeah, that's what I got right here. Secret Life of Lucy.
Yeah,
Bossman.
that's a novel set in 1861 to 1862 here in Richmond, and it's the story of a freed former slave mulatto woman who comes to Richmond to claim property left to her by her deceased husband. And in my research, I found that there were truly mulatto women who owned property down on 17th Street, and that's where I put this character. And I'm tired of seeing the traditional story of the mulatto being the Jezebel or the damsel in distress character. So Lucy is quite different in that she decides to take her fate into her own hands, and even though she decides to pass for white, she does that because she feels it's the only way, number one, she can get what is rightfully hers, and number two, it's really nobody's business for her what she is in some regard. And so she comes here and she opens up that business, but it's a great price she pays to do that. So that's the second piece. And I do hope to go back and write part 2 of Murder on 2nd Street, and this time put Cy in Jackson Ward 1930s.
1930s.
Yeah, 1934, 35. I'm looking at that era.
In that era.
I just gotta have time to write. I so many stories in my head.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. How you
Yeah,
gonna figure?
I
And
don't
then
know.
you got the music over there, so you
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, definitely.
And then you got the film. You got to
Right,
get
right.
these guys back because y'all make truly magic on film. Let me ask you something. When I was one of the things that I took when I was at the screening was that you wanted funding. You need
Right.
to. A lot of people don't understand. It was like I think it was one person in the audience was like, well, you know, why this thing happened? Why you didn't put this in there?
Yes.
And people don't understand about funding when you doing independent projects. Please explain it to the audience.
Ooh, do y'all want to help with that conversation? Why it's really important.
Yeah.
See that man right there? He costs money.
Yeah.
He's got equipment that needs to be,
Yes.
and time. Editing takes a lot of time.
Yes.
And we put this as a period piece, so we're talking about authentic costuming. Costuming
Yes.
was done by Margaret Joyner, who's in theater over here at VUU.
Okay.
And she literally made some of our costumes by hand.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of it she also went and found in vintage stores. So we're talking everything from earrings to shoes to pantyhose, even to the makeup and to the gentlemen's hats and their jackets and everything. You know, that's, if you want to make a piece in that period, you have to commit to that.
Yes.
From the car that we used, the Ford Model T, you know, we had to find that 1925 to 1930 car, to making sure that, you know, Roy had what we needed, the lighting. We're filming in broad daylight, so, you know, we had to deal with holding up lights and things like that. So we needed to be able to cover those things, pay for those things. So we did a couple of fundraising activities. They help tremendously, but you know, we still have things we have to pay for. So post-production is, you think pre-production is tough.
Yeah.
Post-production is a challenge as well. So yeah, we're still fundraising. Yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted to say because it takes a lot of work to get those projects together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And pay your cast.
Yeah, and pay the cast. They want their money. They gonna come to you. They ain't gonna.
Yeah, you gotta pay your cast. That's a whole other ball game.
So what I was gonna say is, what would be the ultimate journey for? Because I think you said you was getting ready to put it on Cannes and
Right.
African American Film Festival.
Well, I think the gentlemen agree. Our ultimate goal is to be picked up and wanted to be, first of all, get into a festival. Secondly, be picked up by distribution, because our goal for the film is to placement in the museums, libraries, and English and history classes. I want this to be a piece that is taught that alongside of a text, so that for me in teaching, students have a better understanding of history if you make it relevant to their current existence.
I was thinking maybe it's turn off.
No problem. I'll go see him.
It might be better coming from a woman. He might not turn down the request of a woman, if he's a gentleman, that is.
All right, then. Go and see him tonight before the show, Miss Jones, and tell him we need him real bad.
That's right.
I mean, y'all coming to the show tonight, ain't you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're talking Cab Calloway. Mr. Calloway that come this way too often.
That's right.
I'm going.
Hi guys, it's Real Talk with Monica, guys. Guess what? I got the cast of Blackwell Street, the man of the hour, Mr. Faree, Brother Faree.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Tell everybody, what was your character?
I played South Sanford.
Okay.
Captain of the Harlem Hellfighters. You know, got the community to come together to call on me to try to solve these murders. You know, they put their weight on my back, so I had to do what I had to do. Yeah, kind of like locked in with the character, because the character reminded me somewhat, you know, some of the characteristics reminded me of my grandfather, you know, myself and my father. But you know, I definitely had a beautiful experience. You know, with the character. I read the book. Y'all gotta read the book.
Okay. You gotta read the book. You hear that, guys?
Murder on Second Street. You gotta read the book. And you know, other than that, you know, I'm blessed. And I thank God for being here around the beautiful cast.
Yeah.
And you know, Rebekah Pierce and all the other directors and producers of the movie. They just, you know, they embraced me. And they believed in me, so I did what I had to do.
All right, guys. So what I'm going to do, guys, is stay tuned. Is that we're running down on a few minutes. We're going to go and tape this, guys. So you're going to see this, and it's also going to be on my YouTube channel, Real Talk with Monica, Breaking Ground in VA. So we're going to come on, and guys, support us, okay? So stay tuned, guys, and that is Real Talk.
You can keep going and interview everybody. We'll still tape it, but it just won't be broadcast. And then we'll redo it. Keep going.
Okay.
And you get everybody.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is, let's start off, Fareed, since you had started off everything. Tell a little bit of the viewers about yourself.
Well, I'm a native of Richmond. I grew up in the South Side. My mother and father, you know, I'm sibling. I got an older brother and sister. My brother passed away. Grew up in a rough area, and I had a lot of struggles, but I overcame them. I got into the acting because I remember when I was a child, I was doing acting in school, stage plays, you know, graphic design, stuff like that. So when I actually got myself back on track, I finally realized that this is where God wanted me to be. So I got back into it and started pursuing it. Like I said, I got a degree in graphic design from John Tyler Community College. And, you know, I mean, amongst, you know, other projects that I did, you know, Blackwell Street, the movie, is far most like, you know, on film, like one of the biggest historical projects I've done.
Oh, wow.
You know, amongst TV, you know, Precinct 757, stage plays, you know, Sister JJ Productions and stuff like that. You know, I've been working, you know, like I say, I'm just getting here, so get used to me.
Get used to you.
Get used to me.
All right. Get used to Fareed. All right. Who this beautiful lady? Is that Miss Diana?
Yes. Hi, everybody.
You got to sing that loud voice name.
Oh, well, Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street.
The money and the music and the people.
Oh, man.
Walking in the streets and talking, Lord have mercy on my soul. The truth may never really been told. Let me tell you how it used to be. Let me tell you about my story. Yeah, Black Wall Street. Yeah.
I seen it. I seen Jack over here like he ready to take out. We cut off on Real Talk, man. That's what we do. Hey, and this what a woman. Look, I'm gonna tell you, this ain't nothing but God. I said, look, I gave him my car. I said, you don't call me. I'm gonna get you on my show. And look how God made this work out, baby. I gave her that car.
Man, cause my nerves is all on point right now. Cause I was like, oh. okay, we're gonna be on TV now. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, I'm Diana Carver. This Black Wall Street was my first time being on film for a movie, and this cast is wonderful. I thank Rebekah Pierce and Roy for selecting me to play the part and the role of Mrs. Padilla Jones. I'm the mama of the boys. I keep boys straight.
You know, you heard her when she was on that Hipper Jones scene. You talking about a woman now? That was her.
Yes. I grew up here in Richmond, Jackson Ward area. Kenny Peoples here. He also grew up in the Jackson Ward area. Well, I didn't grow up here, but I knew of it. I lived here in Richmond, and I remember going to the Hippodrome and going
that was
to
a great
some of the
scene.
places, you know, and it was just great. But for our history to finally be told, I'm glad Rebekah, the Lord put it in her spirit to tell this history of Richmond. We all know about Tulsa, but we had little pockets of history, Black history, influential Black economy, and all in all areas. But you know, Richmond was one of them, and it was the stopping point for a lot of the entertainers to stop here in Richmond before they went down to the lower part of the South where they couldn't get hotels and things like that. But if I get to talking, because I'm nervous, so y'all need to stop.
Dan, you're doing great, hon. But you was wonderful, and thank you for your beautiful voice.
Okay.
Mr. Ken.
Good evening, I'm Ken Peebles. I'm a native of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. I actually grew up in Jackson Ward.
Right.
In 1929, but I grew up in Jackson Ward. I spent 3.5 decades of my life in Jackson Ward. So I know a lot about Jackson Ward. Some that's not in her book, some that's not in the movie, but I do know a lot about Jackson Ward. And I thank her for giving me the opportunity. I thank God for the cast. I've been acting since I was a kid. Then I graduated from TJ High School, went to work with VCU Health Systems, so I was acting and working at the same time. Then in 2010, I retired and turned to a full-time actor. I've been a member of the Screen Actors Guild for 15 years.
Wow.
And I travel all up and down the East Coast. I currently can be seen on a miniseries called Mercy Street.
Mercy, okay.
Where I play the butler to the Green family. So I'm gonna roll on there tonight.
No, tell the people first about your character, Jack Jones.
Sorry about that. My character.
Look, that's an actor. He got so many characters he coming out.
Jack Johnson, I own the insurance company. And we get together, all the businessmen and women, and put up some money. We're gonna hire this killer, and we have to get Cy Sanford is the only one who will take the job. So we gotta
the man
get him to take the job. It's a good movie. The book is better. Well, not better, but it has more details in the book that you're gonna see in the movie. But when the movie's available, get a copy of the movie because it's good. The cinematography was great. So I encourage you to get this movie. And now I'll pass it on to Mr. Carl Ellis.
Okay, you got the mic for Carl, so you can.
My name is Carl Ellis.
Okay.
I had a little small part in the movie, but I just thank God that I was chosen to play that small piece. You know, it's like a stepping stone or planting a seed. You nourish that seed and it will grow. And I'm just glad to be here with the cast members. It's a great cast member. You all got to come. And whenever the movie is shown or wherever you see it, please come out to check it out. My character is it's a little small piece where you could say I'm one of the angry Black guys.
We know about that
story too long. So I'm going to pass the mic on to Mike Pettersen and let him... All
right, Mike, don't take up the whole time, man. This brother can talk, man. Believe me, I'm just talking.
I guess I'm the outcast of the movie. I'm not from Virginia. I'm from Florida, by way of New York, by way of New Jersey.
Okay.
And I thank the cast for embracing me and letting me be a part of this historical event.
Yes.
I'm getting a lot of knowledge here from all of the members here because they're native of Virginia and they're feeding me all the knowledge I need to know about Virginia. A little bit about myself. I'm Mike Pettersen. Getting a lot of years from real talk over there. So I would keep it brief. My character was the man in the crowd, just trying to find the justice and work with everybody to try to see if we can find out who killed these women.
Who killed the women?
I'm not going to tell you that. You got to go to
You can't see it. To go see it. Go buy the book, too.
It's premiering again. You got to buy the book. It's premiering in D.C. On April 15th.
April 15th. You hear that?
In Blackwell, March 26th.
Yeah, March 26th, Blackwell,
Yeah, March 26th, Blackwell.
So we pass this on to my man Ori here.
All right, the man of the hour. Yeah.
I'm not for real.
Look, you're the second man of the hour now because you was in that good hippodrome scene. You know, I seen them see for real on in there, so you man of the hour now, baby. You on Real Talk. Welcome to Real Talk.
Hey,
all right.
My name is Ori Cruz, and I'm not a native either. I'm from North Carolina. My family and I, we moved up here back in '99, and I started acting, I don't know, sometime in the 2000s, and taking lessons and doing some other small theater and other projects. But my character, William Sessions, is probably best described as being a skeptic of Farie's character, Cy Sanford. He is the doubter of the group, and has a really good confrontation scene with Cy Sanford. So I think if Cy is able to win over William Sessions, then he's done a good thing.
Yeah.
And so it was really a great project. I was excited to work with Rebekah. My first time knowing Rebekah was at the audition, and I sensed right away that she knew what she wanted, that she was, well versed, educated in how to do a story, and I was impressed with her, the books that she had done. Then when I got cast in the role and I saw these other people who have far more skill than me, I was excited because then I knew I was in, better company than I could provide them. So, and I was able to kind of pull from things.
Oh, Man, he got that Billy D voice. Look, he said,
that's what I did.
Look, somebody brown knows that you can know that second book, that second book. That's all right, man.
It was really a great project with so many other people who knew how to work with actors, how to direct, how to write a story, tell a story, and film a story. So it was a really exciting project for me to be part of and to get to work with these folks. So,
man. This Cruz, he killed it. All right, now. Deputy, look. We got Deputy Brody. Now I got to beat you up now. He was a good one. He was a good guy. Welcome to Real Talk.
Yeah, I'm Nathan Hofford. Thank you.
Okay.
I played Deputy Brody in the film, and it was a great honor to be a part of this project.
Yeah.
I was just floored by the talent around me.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So, Deputy Brody.
Yeah, tell Deputy Brody. Tell him.
He's got a liaison. I'm trying to build an alliance with Cy. I'm trying to get these murders solved.
Okay.
And I believe deep down I'm really fascinated by the African American culture.
Yeah.
Jackson Ward.
Yeah.
And how could one not be at that time? Just be intrigued by the magnificent culture, imagine the food and the music, the fashion. People would come to see Jackson Ward Sundays and Saturday evenings and watch the ladies when they're.
Look at that! He like them ladies. You've made a great point, Deputy Brody. Is that I was just sitting down for lunch with somebody today. And they got some big race relations with the police and, about killings. And it's good for you to say that. And I think some of the viewers need to say embracing the culture and just being together as one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I feel that spirit in you.
Yeah.
Yes.
This film really hits on that.
He has a very good spirit.
Yeah, I could tell. He just came in here. He's like, look, I might be on. I ain't no outcast. I'm at home, baby.
That's right.
I like that. So how long you been acting?
Oh, only a few years now. Yeah. tried to get into it decades ago.
Yeah.
And just let the discouragement get the best of me.
Yeah.
So making a comeback now.
That's cool. That's really cool. So, let me go back to you, Farid. So, what do you feel that this character can go?
Wow. The people, like I said, it could go as far as the people wanted to go. I mean, if the community support and they still believe in this community of people, let's make this happen. If y'all want to see more of it, hey, you know, support it, and let's turn it to a feature film. I mean, it's gonna be around forever. You know, like I say, we got the talent right here. And you know, definitely, like, I want to see more Side Sampler. You know, I'm almost good to get in the character now.
All right now, look. Now you ain't a little drunk man that you come in.
So I just got so close to the character, you know, with the direction of Rebekah, you know, and everybody else just giving me that energy, feeding off each other energy. I got so close to the character that I know it can evolve into something greater.
Right.
It's not the end.
Right.
So like I say, I mean, we need the support, you know. We need to bring, we got to say the DEUCE.
Yeah, say the DEUCE.